Hi, I'm Warrack. This is my first video review of my custom figures. It's not really a review because I'm obviously going to review it and say that it's totally amazing. So it's more of a showcase. And it's coming from my homemade light tent, so you'll have to excuse the cardboard around the side. Best I could come up with. So anyway, this is Carnage. And he's a custom figure, 6 inches tall approximately, and made to fit in with the Marvel Legends line. Well, to start with the science bit, concentrate. Now, Carnage is, I don't want to say bottom of the barrel character because he's an alright idea, just not being used very well. Basically, it would all, Carnage, all starts with this guy, who we all know. Spider-Man goes to another planet, gets the shit kicked out of him, and gets an alien costume, like this. Very dark and brooding. And so he gets back to Earth and finds out this alien costume is trying to control his mind and make him do all sorts of evil things. So he gets rid of it. The costume ends up hating him, as clothes that you throw out often do, and teams up with someone who doesn't like him and becomes this guy, Venom. So Spider-Man does away with Venom. Did you like that? That was action packed. Venom goes to prison, and his costume has a baby and joins up with a serial killer and becomes this. So yeah, it all makes perfect sense, I'm sure. But okay, that's him. So Carnage is what? He's a serial killer covered in red and black goop, and he can change his costume into different shapes and kill people with them in shit. Okay, so Carnage is made from a Marvel Legend Iron Fist figure. I don't really have a figure, I wish I did, to show you what it started out as, but I'm sure I've got some work in progress pictures that I can flash up. His hands are not from Iron Fist, they're from a Marvel Legends Sinister Six Spider-Man, and I like these. I used them previously in my Spider Carnage figure. I like the articulation in the fingers, it's very good for making these sort of elongated claw-like things. His head is from another Carnage figure, but really it was only really for size that I used it. There's none of the original details left, it's all resculpted. Yeah, okay, so to sculpt it I use a material called milliput. It's what I've always used, I've never used anything else. This figure also has a veiny texture over him, which I've managed to get by dragging hot glue over his body. And the sort of sharp bits, his claws and his teeth, are done with the pointed bits of flossers, and the paints are all Games Workshop or Citadel paints, whatever you want to call them. So that's basically what he's made of. Anyway, so let's get to the figure. He stands freely, as you've seen, but so that we don't waste any time when I'm posing him with him falling over, I'm just going to introduce a stand so he doesn't waste my time and yours, as supervillains are known to do. So he's an Iron Fist figure, so he's got all the standard articulation of Marvel Legends, double hinged elbows, etc. I don't know all the terms exactly. The Iron Fist figure had some, what do we call them, lateral shoulder joints or something, like this Daredevil figure. You can see he's got this sort of muscle that goes in and out of his body, but side effect to that is his shoulders stick out like, I don't know, Joan Collins, who's been working out. And so what I did was I did a shoulder fix. It's quite popular, and just took those and pushed them further into his body and fixed them there so they don't stick out as much as they once did. As I said, he's covered in the hot glue veins, and he's got his standard comic book sort of paint job here with the black down the centre and the black tendrils coming off it, some red highlights. I originally wanted to do something a bit different with him. I wasn't convinced I could carry off this paint job. I'll show you some pictures of that. It was a simpler one that just used washes and dry brushing to highlight it. And while it looked okay, you know, it wasn't the Carnage that, you know, we really wanted.